Hello, I am Joe McDonald. This is Big Mac's Battle Blog, and this is one sock who's all better now. The poisoning scare just turned out to be had some parasites, but probably sounds a bit ridiculous and paranoid now. But since we did actually get the Russians are trying to poison us warning that day, what can you say? You know, he's my son. I worry about him. Anyway, I thought I'd make this video to talk about kit and what sort of kit you might want to acquire, bring with you, or buy once you're in Ukraine that you're not going to get issued, but I, over my time here, have found extremely useful to have. First thing is a soldier's best friend, socks. Okay, you want to get some socks, wool socks. They're available in Ukraine, but they're really, really expensive. And I'd say you want to have some thinnish, normal thickness, normal sports sock thickness wool socks. And you want to have some really nice thick ones. I'd say probably about 6 pairs of each should be enough to get you through a sufficient amount of time here before you need to ask someone back home to send you some more. Make sure that they've got some polyester or nylon content so they're machine washable. But yeah, wool socks, they make a big difference not only to keeping your feet warm, but how badly your feet sweat, and consequently how bad you get fungal infections, which can be an absolute nightmare if you're stuck out on a mission for a week or more. You know, can be really unpleasant, and you can come back to find out that your feet, the skin on your feet, has literally been eaten to a really thin layer by the sort of fungal infections that you get, and you probably will get, especially if you're sharing a barracks with a bunch of guys, whether they were flip-flops when they go the showers or the toilets or not. Okay, so socks. The other thing is medical kit. Now, you're going to get given an IFAC. It might need a bit of improvement, you know. It's nice to have more than 2 tourniquets. It's nice to have, you know, a nasal or an oral flangeal, which is a tube that you put down your throat in case you've got like a burnt throat and it's hard to breathe. It's nice to have a little tube of Vaseline to go through that, so you know you're not basically dry face fucking yourself with the tube, which could bring on gagging and make things a lot worse. It's you know, it's nice to have more hemostatic gauze than you generally get issued, because generally speaking you're probably not going to get one nice neat bullet wound. You're probably more likely to get peppered by shrapnel and have a bunch of wounds that need packing. But nevertheless, you are going to get given a reasonable quality IFAC individual first aid kit, right? But there is a whole range of injuries that happen that aren't getting shot and blown up and dismembered. You know, when you're going to an area, right, there's going to be broken glass, bits of rebar sticking out of buildings, sharp bits of metal, that kind of stuff. So getting a really nasty fucking cut that isn't life-threatening, but you know, you might end up losing a half a litre or a litre of blood, and it might end up getting infected. That's a very, very real possibility. Just like, you know, the kind of first aid kit you might take with you if you're going away for some kind of countryside activity, you know. That's the sort of thing you want to have. You know, plasters that come on a roll, like bandage plasters, some normal plasters, some kind of antiseptic, even little tube bottle of hand sanitizer to clean up, little pack of sanitizing antibacterial wet wipes in there, paracetamol and ibuprofen, okay, rehydration salts, Imodium, in case you eat something bad or you have to eat with dirty hands and you get the shits, because having the shits when you're in a forward trench position is fucking miserable, and also puts you at greater risk, you know, because you have to keep getting out of the trench to go for a shit, or you have to shit in the trench next to the guys, further biologically toxifying your environment and making you fucking unpopular. Okay, so Imodium, good stuff to have. Also in Ukraine, especially if you're in military uniform, you can just go to literally any apothecary and get antibiotics. Now, the doctors and nurses who watch this are going to be, you should never give them unless you're a trained medical. Shut the fuck up, yeah? Shut the fuck up, okay? There's 3 basic types of antibiotics that I believe you should have at least a week's course in your emergency, non-fatal IFAC. And it's amoxicillin, which is for general, you know, you've got some kind of fucking injury, some kind of, and it's become infected. Demoxicillin, which is for more serious internal injuries, you know, internal infections. Also for things like, you know, if you've suddenly found out that you've been bitten by a load of ticks. All right, mate, we'll go out in a sec. So, you know, demoxicillin. Okay, really, that's a 12-week course, but it's good to, as soon as you see that red ring expanding from the tick bite, you want to start a course of that, and hopefully they'll get you off position before you fucking run out. Okay, there's also bloody hell, I should have remembered this. It's like I'm not going to say ferrocyanide because that's a caking agent used in salt, but it's like ferro something or other, and that's basically an antibiotic that you take for having really bad stomach infection. Okay, some kind of food poisoning type thing where the ibuprofen as the Imodium, the medicine to bung you up and stop you shitting, has failed to work, and you still have a stomach infection and you're stuck in a position. Having some of them is really fucking useful. Another thing I think guys should bring is dry sacks, canoe bags, and you want a variety of sizes, you know, little ones that are like 2 or 3 litres for your socks, one for your socks, one for your underpants, one for your long underwear, okay, that kind of thing. So this is not just for taking on a mission where you'll probably have a relatively small bag, but it's for you know, keeping all your stuff compartmentalized, organized, dry and protected. You know, you might have a big bag full of stuff and you've been sent on a mission and now you're pulling back from where you're normally quartered and you've got to go and dump all your stuff in some dirty, moldy, damp fucking room. It's nice to come back and not have all your clothes rotted through. It's also nice to know that when you do go on a mission, your supply of socks and underwear and stuff like that is actually dry. So yeah, these are a couple of things that I think it's really, really important to bring with you if you're going to be serving in Ukraine. Anyway, it's goodbye from me, Joe McDonald at Big Mac's Battle Blog. Goodbye from One Sock, who sounds like he needs to go for a shit. And as always, to our Russian and Vatnik listeners, Idi Nahoy Zalupa.